A lot on education here on the program. In the next hour, I know, Sakina, you're going to be joined by an epidemiologist who's going to talk precisely to the scientific evidence and everything that has to do with the infection in children and how it works and whether we should be concerned about that. And then, of course, speaking as well to a mental health specialist, a psychologist, to also talk about what's going on in children at a time like this. We're so worried and concerned as parents. One can only imagine what's going on in their little minds, but who really knows? I don't know. All right, so here's that question. Will you be sending your child back to school when they reopen following the nationwide lockdown, and why?
Yeah, Leanne, and just taking a look at some of those answers, Ayanda Francis Pelham says no. How do you send your child to the grave? And it is.
Yeah, that's quite a tough one. Chris Twala is saying, we have the unequivocally irrational government ever. We have the most, I imagine, is what he's saying. There's no way I would send my Putsununu to school. It is sensible to save lives than the school calendar.
The Queen says, yes, I will send my son back to school because I'm tired of homeschooling. I also think that the children will be very well looked after.
Deboho, he's coming in saying, I don't think it's a good idea. He's bringing up your example that you gave of France. Look at France, 70 learners tested positive on the first day of reopening schools. And why prisoners are released from prison and still got the decency of reopening. She must go back and wear a school uniform, and she must go to school.
And Tab says, I'll sit this one out. Let the blessed bold parents send their own as guinea pigs. I'll play in both my ear and eyes. At least the spaces for my children will provide a meter distance from their desk mate.
Oh man, Sehwate writing to us, Tobela, I won't send her alone. I am prepared to go with her so that I see if there is all what the government has promised as safety. Yeah, that's just a really concerned parent saying, yeah, I'll go with my kid to school if that's the case. So.
And let's just take a final one for now from Netisi, who says, I don't have kids in grades 7 and 12, but what I think on the 1st of June is going to be chaos and disorder. Parents and teachers versus the Department of Education, parents versus scholar transport, and my worry is about the poor child. Please employ me for first 3 days. So those some of your comments coming through, very interesting ones. And parents are really, really concerned, Leanne, especially given what they're noting elsewhere in the world. But we'll read more of those tweets as we move along during the show. And as you said, more experts coming through to answer some of the questions. But for now, let's bring